Welcome to today's feature. And I am particularly very psyched up for this particular feature because it's going to show you just how much technology in the space of agriculture has evolved. Now, here in the United States of America, Idaho State, we are going to show you a milking system called rotary. And also, we will show you how robots are being used when it comes to dairy farming. All this technology is being put in place to make sure that agriculture is efficient, sustainable, and attractive to the young people. Come. Let's learn so much about dairy farming technology. Let's start by getting to know you just a bit more. Tell us more, your name, and for how long have you been working in this farm?
Yeah, my name is Ryan Falter. I've been here close to 15 years. I'm actually part of the family. I would be fourth generation. My grandfather came from Switzerland, and I help manage the dairy.
Right. So at what point did you develop the interest of working in the farm? Because there's so very many people who come from agricultural backgrounds and they don't end up working in their homes, in their farms. How did you end up here?
Yeah, I didn't exactly grow up with it. The farm moved from where we lived when I was younger, but I came back. I love cows. I love working with the people. I love the daily challenge. There's always something. Every day is different.
Right. What can you say is the best part of your job so far, having all these cows around you every single day?
Yeah, it can be a very rewarding job. Just making sure the cows are healthy and happy, and in return they produce high quality milk.
Great. So what breed do we have here, and also how many cattle do you have at this point?
Yeah, so we milk exclusively Holstein cows, and we milk around 10,000.
Right, every sinle day?
Every single day, 10,000 get milked 3 times a day.
A day. Is there any particular reason why you settled for the Holstein breed? I mean, there are other people who keep other breeds.
Yeah, so Holsteins typically give more volume of milk. And nowadays, with the advancements in genetics by using genomics, actually the fat and protein content is a lot higher these days. So with a Holstein, you get the volume of milk and also the high fat, the high components.
Right. So how many liters of milk do you get from one cow per day at optimum production?
We average around 100 pounds of milk
100 pounds.
a day per cow.
100 pounds and liters. A liter is about 2 pounds. So if you're doing 100 pounds, that's about 50 liters from one cow a day. Yeah. And that's at its optimum production. For how many years or for what period of time will this cow be giving you?
No, that's not optimum. That's our average. Ooh. So bottom and top end.
Optimum can go to as high as?
Oh, geez, some cows milk a lot, 150 pounds maybe.
Right,
Yeah,
that's about 70 liters in a day.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, for you to milk 10,000 cows, you definitely cannot go the traditional ways. So I've seen you have a very interesting way, technology way of milking your cows. Talk to us about how the rotary system of milking works.
First started when we wanted to build the cross ventilation barn, which hopefully we'll get to show you guys. In order to milk 7,000 cows in one barn, we ended up building a 120 stall dealer valve rotary. And in a traditional barn, you have load in and load out times that take up a lot of time. On a wheel, it's, you know, you're always milking a cow. It's nonstop. It's just very efficient. We're able to milk over 900 cows an hour on the wheel. And in our double 50, our traditional parallel barn, we can maybe milk 400.
Right.
So
in an hour, you're able to milk about 900 cows.
Yes,
given that you're milking about 10,000 cows here, how many hours does it take you to finish a milking session?
So we run 2 shifts, and we wash with with a system that big, you have to wash twice a day, and that takes about 45 minutes to an hour each wash, and every other second available goes to milking the cows.
Right, now take us through the process of from the moment the cows get into the rotary, what happens, the cleaning of the udder, the putting of the machine. Take us through that process step by step. So
the cow pusher will go out into the corral, gather the cows, and they'll come into the holding pen, and then they'll file onto the rotary, onto the deck, and then they're sprayed with essentially a disinfectant, an iodine-based product that has to sit for a certain amount of time to kill any sort of bacteria. And then the cow's wiped with a clean towel, and that's the start of stimulation. Then the cow produces hormones in her brain that tells her, hey, I'm about to get milk, and hopefully she lets her milk down in the proper way. And then the machines are attached. And then now, it going round during the milking, how many minutes does it take for that rotary to go round? So the wheel turns in 7.2 minutes. The average cow milks out in about 4.5 minutes. So some cows need longer, some cows need less. And we have the ability on that wheel to group our cows in certain pens. So some cows need longer, some cows need less, and we can slow the wheel down or speed it up. Right. So let's say you are in the pen, it's going for 7.5 minutes, but there's this particular cow who is already done milking by the 4th minute. What happens to the milking machine? Does it stay there for the entire 7 minutes, or does someone remove it? What's that process there? Yeah, so inside the machine there's a flow meter, and when that meter senses the amount of milk going through is less, it will automatically detach. If you leave the pulsation on a cow and she's not milking, it could damage the udder. And that's something that we do system checks on to make sure that the automatic takeoffs are working. Right, and I've also noticed that we're using robot technology in this farm. Take us through that, and also at what point did you make the switch to using the robot? How has it made your life as a farmer, as a herdsman, easier? Yeah, so labor is a big thing. It's a big cost, your second biggest cost after feed. So any way to reduce labor, you have to take a look at it, and that's the main reason for the robots. The other reason is they don't show up to work late. So there's no delay in milking, always on time. They can't break down, they can't get sick. And then they use the perfect amount of dip, the perfect amount of disinfectant that you want, and you can change the settings. They can use more if maybe you're having an issue, or they can use less. And we know that those robots are getting the job done. Right. Yeah. So here you're using how many robots? 4. 2 what we call the pre-dip side, and 2 on the post-dip. Right. So for that farmer who's listening right now and wants to understand pre-dip and post-dip, just expound that a bit more. Yeah, they're a little different. Pre-dip is a more fast-acting kill for bacteria, and then it'll get wiped off right away. And then post-dip acts more like a barrier for when they go and lay down in the beds or in the straw, so that it protects bacteria from getting inside the teat. Right, so the pre-dip we're doing it before milking, and then the post-dip we're doing after. That's right. Right, and also notice that in the structure here where we have our rotary system, we have a blue substance, like a plastic blue thing on the floor. What role does that play in the rotary system? Yeah, it's simply just so that the cows spread their back legs a little bit, so we're able to attach the machine. Right, right. Do they enjoy the going round? You know, I was thinking as a human being, when I'm in a merry-go-round, I'll start feeling dizzy, and I just want to get out. What is the situation for the animals? Can you tell if they really enjoy being in this system? Yeah, when you open the gate for cows to come into the parlor, it's a mad rush for the first one to get on the wheel. Right. And then we showed you the basement where you can see how comfortable the cows look. Right. And we actually have, I wouldn't call it a problem, but we do have to deal with cows wanting to go around for a second lap. And I have a report in my computer that shows me cows that do that frequently, and that's obviously not very efficient. So either I have to demote them to a different barn or kind of keep an eye. I feel bad.
Or they
for
go
those
to the
cows.
naughty corner. You're no longer allowed in the rotary system. So they truly do enjoy it.
Yes, they do.
So how do you
Absolutely.
get to also monitor the quality and the quantity of the milk that you're getting in the rotary system?
A lot of it is management, employees, hygiene, the bedding, cleaning up after the cows. It's all important. We pride ourselves on milk quality. We run, I don't know if you guys measure somatic cell count. Each load of milk that's taken off farm, the co-op will test. And then we know that day what our bacteria counts are. And we actually just won the Milk Quality Award for the state of Idaho last year. We run under 100,000 somatics, which is pretty impressive.
Right. In case a cow is not probably feeling well and it's getting into the rotary system, maybe it's unwell or there's a problem with it, is there a way to detect that before it gets into the rotary?
Yeah, so we're looking into something like activity monitors. The technology is getting really good out there. There's collar systems, there's boluses that will measure temperature and rumination.
Yes.
The collars and the ankle bracelets measure activity. So say a cow's activity is up, she could possibly be in heat. If her activity's down, then maybe that cow's sick. And then some of the technology we have in the barn, we have sort gates, and you would be able to punch that cow's number in a computer, and the sort gates will sort her off. And then my hospital guys twice a day will go over to the sort gates and bring them over here to the hospital so that they can treat them.
So do they go through the
and
sort
look at them.
gate every day?
Every day they go for the sort gate.
Right.
And if their RFID number is in the computer, if they're flagged, then the sort gate will sort her into a pin. And then my guys will go and gather her and treat her accordingly.
So do they go to the sort gates after leaving the holding area, or it's before getting into
So
the holding?
after they come off the wheel, after they're done milking, then they go through the sort gates.
Okay.
99% of the time they just walk right through and go back to where they sleep. But if we need them for some reason, if they're moving to the other barn, then we just tell the computer these cows need to be moved, or these cows need to be health checked.
Okay.
And then they're sorted.
Right.
So when my guys go over there, all the cows are there, and they do what they need to do.
Maybe you can also tell us how you're able to control something like mastitis, which is very common in dairy farming. Using this rotary system, what do you do to make sure that you're also managing mastitis?
Yeah, again, it goes back to proper hygiene and protocols inside the barn, making sure they're wiping well, making sure the robots are working, making sure the beds are nice and clean. We replace bedding twice a week in each pen. The pushers rake out any manure or piss that's left in the stalls. And just staying on top of it. Mastitis can be one of the biggest problems on a dairy, but if it's managed well and your hygiene is good, then you'll be okay.
Great. So once you get your milk, you're done milking, where does it go? What's the next step after that?
Yeah, so we belong to a co-op called DFA, Dairy Farmers of America.
Right.
And they kind of decide where our milk goes. On our farm personally, most of our milk goes to Chobani, the Greek yogurt. Could be made into cheese, but for us, mostly yogurt.
So you are in a cooperative society.
Yes.
Do you meet up with the other dairy farmers from your cooperative societies? Do you have days when you come together to maybe just educate yourselves further on what's happening? Or how often does that happen?
We have a meeting with DFA, I'd say once every 6 months. But in this industry, a lot of us pride ourselves on community. So we might see each other at a charity golf tournament or see each other in town, and we're all friendly to one another. And yeah, we bounce ideas off of each other, and hey, they're doing this, maybe we should try that. Or very, very community-based industry.
Right. Thank you so much for that. And maybe finally you can speak to someone who probably hasn't joined the cooperative society and is wondering if there's any benefits of doing that. I mean, I can always call another farmer and ask them what they're doing and do it by myself. But what can you tell them about being part of a society?
I will not pretend that I know more than the guy down the road from me.
Yeah.
And you can always learn. You can always learn from your peers. And I think it would be a good idea to share what you're doing with other farmers.
Right.
They might have a better way of doing things.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ryan, for speaking to us and teaching us so much about the rotary technology that you're using here for milking. It has been such a pleasure being in this very fantastic farm. I'm so wowed. I'm so happy. You can tell from my smile. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Safari bado. Sisi kama taifa la Kenya tunahitaji mambo mengi sana. Mpiga picha nani?
Kevin.
Fraj.
Yes. Yeah, he did a very good job. Yeah, this is what on social media, I'm sure there's a meme, most of us have seen it. It says technology. It's this one. This is the technology. This is the technology that we are talking about when it comes to the agricultural sector. And I'm very sure there's someone who's watching and is wondering what's the difference between that Holstein and a Fresian? Kwa sababu wanafanana. I'll be telling you that later on in the show. We're taking a break right now, but if you want to talk to us, tell us what has stood out for you or what you'd like seeing happening in our dairy sector, call us on 0742-961-343. See you after this break with a lot more when it comes to dairy farming.
Kimataifa.
Absolutely.